here we are. In the words of Fear, the band Fear, welcome to the Dust Ward. More beer, different song. I know people are coming around and they're looking at things and they're getting angry. And other people are like, hey, I agree with you. And they're fighting other people. And it's like, that's not what I meant to see at all. I want you to know, whatever it is I'm doing, this is just a variety show. It's not my fault what's going on in the news right now. What I am sharing with you is the stuff that I see that maybe somebody else doesn't. And it's not influencing. It's just a showing. It's like, it's not right nor wrong. You can decide that on your own. I feel pretty good about it. These things I question. Not that I think they're right or wrong and that somebody's right and wrong, but I feel like my questions are sane. Sanity is clean. And I just saw Victoria come out earlier. She said, here, I've got this. We are cleaning things up. We are getting things in order. All the people that think that people do not plan ahead, no matter, based on their belief systems, we're doing this right now. We're getting lean. We're getting lean. And she brought this thing out. And I looked at it and I said, I've been wondering where that is for months and months and months. I moved in here in a pile, and it's finally to the point where I need to get things in order. I'm a slow-moving animal, but when the time comes that it's time to do it, look, she just brought out a box full of encyclopedias. Why? Let me grab one. It's because we can't just let things go. I mean, I don't mean to make this about anybody, but if somebody has never relied upon a library to get their knowledge, then they have no worries about not returning the stuff they got. And then they can say, it's mine. Well, I guess maybe you shouldn't have gone to the library in the first place. This is for us to share. Oh, there's another box. Oh my golly. What's this? It's the Made Simple Self-Teaching Encyclopedia. These are things you're not going to be able to find online if things go bad. No matter which way you think they're going bad, if you think you're not going to have access to information in the future, these are the things that matter. The physical aspect. Made Simple Self-Teaching Encyclopedia. Rapid reading. Oh, it's going to tell me how to read fast at home, in the school, in the library, in public conveyances, in private clubs. Men and women and children read for a purpose, for enjoyment, for enlightenment. You want to see what I just learned from that? They also should read with determination, with questions, with answers, with anger and sorrow, and with joy. See? How to read fast. There's a book. You might not think much of it, but the more you learn, the more the next thing you learn matters to you. So work your way up to it, I suppose. And the thing is, here I am. It's a variety show. This is what people are getting confused about. I'm afraid of becoming a niche, a fucking swallow in the side of the hill where everybody can just come and look at you and expect you to be one thing only. I got playlists loaded up in here. If you're upset with something I say, there's probably something I'm going to say that makes you happy. And to go through this, there is a Judas readings playlist. There's one about philosophy too. There's one about January 6th and its children. There's one about how the jester steals the crown. There's even one called My Favorites. There aren't so many in there because I'm very particular with the things that I actually find not perfect, but as perfect as we'll ever be today. And so, being that I wanted to talk about the variety show, you can ask me anything you want. Ask me. I had a globe in the studio in Clarence Flick's studio at 90.5 FM KSGS San Jose. I had a globe in there that I found in the garbage outside that I brought in, and I would spin the thing around with my eyes shut and touch on it. And wherever it landed, I would tell you a story about where I've been, and if I haven't been there, I'd make one up. That's how I killed the guy in the alley in Vietnam. But the point is, I have a lot of stories of these places. I'd say 70% of the time we played the Where in the World Are You game that I had a real story. So if you want to hear a story, somebody called me a legend in my own mind, and I'm like, that's not true. I wouldn't even think of myself as a legend if I didn't hear it every time I went back to Gaylord, Michigan. One time I heard it 3 times without even asking for it. You have no idea who I am and what I am not. You want me to think I'm something, but I am not. Cigarette went out. So I had to figure out a shirt to put on. Because something very special happened in her bringing out of my books and my things that need to be compiled. And I saw this. And I recognize it. That's from late 90s. In the last century, I feel like I should be dancing with a flapper. Oh, I did a few weeks ago. We were flapping. I put on a shirt that is neutral, so nobody has to decide what it is I'm getting at. I haven't even read the story. In that book, I knew something was in it when she brought it out, and I opened it up. And there it was right there. A little story I wrote when I was driving the shoe truck. I was a traveling shoe salesman. What better way to do illegal fucking acts than being somebody that's expected to be on the road and selling steel-toe boots from corporate yard to corporate yard, where all the rich people are, where all the people that have problems with other people are. What better job to have? But I didn't get to do so much. So I would sit there and I would write little stories, things that crossed my mind. And this is the one. It's a photocopied rendition of a story I wrote, because it's lost in one of these books, but I got it photocopied because I cared about it. To do this Judas readings that will go into the playlist, I had to wear this one shirt. It's we are the Judas resurrection. I'll put down, I actually have a spring tea thing down below. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud. I might get in trouble. But if you go down there, there's some kind of shop in there that you can buy stuff that has the Judas resurrection and stuff. But this is the flag. It's we are the Judas resurrection. In some sense, it's a betrayal of the self, knowing that we could have just crawled all over everybody else, but we did what was right because someone asked and somebody counted on us. And sometimes in the middle of civilization, we can't all be morons. Some of us have to stay back and some of us get held back, but some of us need to realize that we can make things better around us, and that's why we're here in the middle. There's only 2 of these shirts that I know of in the entire world, and this is one of them. Metal Ghost has got one. 2 of these. And I said, this is the one if I'm going to do a Judas reading. So here we go. I don't know what it's going to say. I've got an idea. It's all written in lowercase because it's in the word of a child. I remember when I wrote it way back then, it had to be in the word of a child. And I guess if adults don't care what children have to think about, then it doesn't matter at all. This is one called It's the Little Things That Count. Listen to the trees, 'cause they know. The mushrooms tell them. Without the mushrooms, the trees would be sad in their wisdom. That's because they're too big and are too great in their longevity to see the little things. The mushrooms are just small. They don't live so long. That way, when they see the little things, they are astounded because it's the first time they've seen them. And when the mushrooms tell the trees what they saw, the trees will remember how excited they were the first time they saw it. Probably when they too were just little, if they are lucky. Remembering and understanding. These are what make a tree even bigger. I don't know, you can come up with a theme of that all on your own, but there it is. All I know is we have to be able to listen to each other. All I know is that from one person to the next, the only way we can understand what we're thinking between each other is if we can look at each other and hear our words. And if our words are not heard by others, we have to take into consideration a little bit. Maybe our words are wrong.